Okay, so hello and welcome back to the letter, and now we're finally playing as Ashton, and we only have Ashton and Luke. So, as I was looking through his bio, apparently he's Christian. He's just not practicing it. So, that gives me hope that I might be able to get him to believe in the ghost. Just a chance. And that's about it, besides also the gun, which kind of obviously given everyone has something that's an item related to them. Ashton has a gun, obviously. And yeah, I haven't bothered reading this, but friend. Okay, no, nothing that gives me that he likes anyone. So, partisan never been really my thing. Always such a hassle and takes so much time of my day. Prior plans and commitments cancelled, all for the sake of playing along with others.
Welcome everyone!
Oh, we're starting on the day of the party already? Oh, so we don't go with the whole process of the beginning of, hey, this is how I am, this is how we're like, yada yada, everything about me, and then shit goes down. We just start right here. So he hasn't seen anything? I hated them even as a child.
Please, make yourselves at home.
But Mom often insisted she'd slick my hair back, put me in one of those stuffy diner jackets if there were any children around, urged me to make friends. Never mind how utterly loud or tedious it was all for the sake of keeping up appearance. To some extent, lies have already surrounded me long before I've chosen what I wanted to do with my life. Did I skip something? Nope, okay. So luckily there were easy ways to tuning everything out. Much to my mom's frustration, I always managed to sneak my CD player along. Kept to myself and to my music, had my own little world. Until I learned to observe. It's a simple matter of awareness, really. For someone with keen eyes, skewed necktie or a simple flick of a wrist alone could tell volumes about a person. I still don't like parties. Fair enough. Especially one as big and fancy as the Wright's housewarming. However, when there's actual reason to go to them, I figure they're not too bad.
Be careful with Shirley, alright?
Besides, like it or not, it's all part of the job. Here on a mission. One that has the name Luke Wright plastered all over it. You think the man want to remain inconspicuous after his name was linked to several high-profile crimes across Luxembourg. Granted, most of it gone cold over the years, having stagnated without any lead or evidence, but that still doesn't make him any less suspect. Yet here he is, throwing a party in his own backyard. Although having observed the man this past year, I'm not even shocked. He craves it, the damn spotlight, constantly yearns for attention like a neglected puppy. It doesn't take a genius to figure out why he's nowhere to be found in his own party. That's not the problem here. What pisses me off is how far his reach extends. Plus, he has creeped into the lives of people I care about. Again, like a stubborn itch you couldn't be rid of. Oh my god. I can't speak. First Professor Clark, then there's Isabel. Also spotted Z-Man here a while ago, and now Becca? There we go. Now there's also Rebecca. Apparently.
Becca? What are you doing here?
You have a feeling if I chose to go with Ash instead of being with Luke, this wouldn't be the situation that occurs because it just updates. So I'm pretty sure there's a connection there.
I was invited.
Really? I had no idea you were friends with the host.
That explains things. It makes this difficult, and makes this difficult all the same. As if getting a contact among the staff to sneak a name into the guest list isn't hard enough. Guy almost ditched me last night and might have placed another seat back on my escation if it wasn't for my genius tip. Okay. Here comes Rebecca, another person to mind.
Well, it's my parents, actually. But that's beside the point. What are you doing here? You hate parties.
I still do. I'm just here on behalf of a friend.
Unnecessary lie. I can't bring my own friends into this any further than what they've found themselves in. Because if Luke Wright so much as harms a hair on either Zach or Rebecca's heads, there will be hell to play. Wait, yeah, Becca. I'm like, not even Rebecca, because I thought Rebecca was Isabel. Worrying about Isabel's brief dealings with him is stressing in itself already. I doubt he'll attempt anything in front of other people, though. It would tarnish his glorious reputation and his values, appearances more than anything. Doesn't necessarily mean he isn't capable of it, more than, in fact, and on the off chance he does something, I wouldn't be responsible for my I wouldn't be responsible for my actions.
That's rare. Do you have someone with you then?
Nope, just me. I won't be staying long.
Oh, well, if that's the case, maybe you and I can...
For Zach and Rebecca's sake, however, I really hope this will simply be another housewarming. Even though something tells me it's anything but. Call it detective intuition or whatever. When Luke's right involved, nothing good has ever come out of it. Can't let my guard down. Even more so when a familiar car slows to a stop, Alan comes... Who is it?
Chief?
Oh, okay, Chief. My presence here might be odd at best, but I have an excuse. One that this man handed to himself a year ago, along with a heavy dose of flattery for the newly prompted detective inspector. Can't exactly say the same for my good old boss, can I? Although to see him here chatting it up with Luxembourg's rich and famous isn't such a big surprise in itself. No disrespect meant, but the guy is obviously a social climber. What's surprising is the fact that he seems all too eager to mingle with the person of interest's wife? Just what the hell is he doing here?
Ashton, what's...
Sorry, Becca. I need to... There's something I need to check for a bit. I'll talk to you later. Do you have a ride home?
No, I had to take a cab here. My car wouldn't start this afternoon. But what about...
What the shit is going on here?
I told you to get that old thing checked before, didn't I? You can head back with me after this. Anyway, I gotta go. See ya. Be careful, okay?
Hey, be careful! About what exact...
I don't want to draw attention to myself either, at least not until he's given me proper reason to spoil his little party.
Thank you for the invite, Anna. Husband still missing, I see.
Oh, right, because they had a whole conversation before that I guess he is now
I
entering.
should be saying the same of your darling Rochelle, Lee. The doctors again.
For now, the best I could do is wait and remain inconspicuous, especially with the chief here, whose motives are dubious at best. If it means having to pretend I don't know Zach and Rebecca, or forcing myself to rub elbows with people I barely know, let alone like, then so be it. I can't involve anyone. Wandering is out of the question as well when there are guards and civvies stationed here and there. Sure, getting past them is something I could do with these, but I'd rather not right now. I'm one of the few snooping and roaming about. It'd be best to try and do so once there is a crowd of people. And if their interior designer drunken claims are to be believed, alright.
Yes, well, what about Luke? Should we file a missing persons report now, or do you want to wait 24 hours?
He's around.
You know, I can tell if someone's bluffing.
It'll all come down to how well I'll play my cards tonight. The good hand of this part is going to be my breakthrough. I need to crack Luke Wright. Something to prove my suspicious wrong. You find out what kind of game my boss is also playing. If I had an inkling before, a few hunches tempered down by how much of a bumbling fool the man appears. One does not simply deal with the Wrights and get invited to a party they host without wanting anything from either of the two. Or it's the other way around. So with a last wary glance at the two, I head into the ballroom. Let's hope this will not complicate things further. Shit. So now we see what the fuck he does in here. By the time the party's in full swing, night has fallen, yet there still isn't Luke Wright in sight. Man can be quite stantious, but this, frankly, I'm impressed. I don't know how many hors d'oeuvres Ray stuffed my face with. What is that? That looks delicious! It's like deviled eggs too, I think? So one too many, probably. The servs are already giving me a stink eye every time I saunter over the buffet table. Of course. Blame your employer. Not me. He's the one who has the guts to show up late. Besides, most of the guests' idle talk is concentrated in this area, despite standing in the same roof with the very people they're whispering about. Some just couldn't resist. Might as well keep an ear out for any useful info.
Is Suarez still fixing that tech problem? Tech problem?
It's been 3 years. Sooner or later, the Blighter will put 2 and 2 together.
Okay, so he's just been wandering around eavesdropping everyone. Okay.
He might have already.
If the red tape I'm being slammed with these past few months suggests anything, that or someone has been pulling the strings, I wouldn't be shocked. This case would not have gone this long if Scumbag didn't have a mule of some kind in the force.
Shush you, we all know Suarez just wants an out.
I knew he was bad news the day the merger with Evans Incorporated happened.
Merger?
Glad I did not have to deal with that.
But keep it down, someone might hear. The wife especially.
This kind of negligence has always been an advantage. Sometimes I wish I could be smashed drunk while doing this. Having sharp ears also means you get to hear the most unsavory things. Who cheated on who this week, one person's motive for bashing someone's skull against the wall, father's excuse for burning his own daughter alive. Those sort of stuff. Jeez. After a few years it gets tiring. You get desensitized to it. But humans could also be downright awful. Sometimes there simply isn't enough brain bleach in the world. Sadly, the wine is a no-go tonight, and mostly for show. I'm up for another drive later, for one, and I definitely want to be sober in case anything comes up. Something always comes up in assignments like this. Spectre dying, cardiac arrest, for example. Because I could feel the moment my heart grinds to a halt, the second I shift my eyes to a corner of the ballroom.
Hannah Wright.
Oh, so he passed by them and is now in the corner of the room. Oh. Some will say I'm acting a touch bit paranoid. Maybe I am. This is a party and she's the hostess. Gotta say that she'd take the time to mingle with her guests. But Hannah Wright, Nee Evans, isn't without her fair share of accolades. At least to the public, she doesn't seem like it. Unlike her husband, she's the one with the business sense, not to mention the impressive track record, need to manage a company. Or effectively, hide whatever irregularity there might be. She's clean as far as my agents and I have found, but doesn't rule out a possible involvement with whatever her husband's up to. Hell, Luke Wright came out clean in previous reports until I bothered to take a deeper look into it. What I found may not be sufficient to bring anyone to trial yet, but it's enough to nurture suspicion. Maybe a bit of an overreaction, but no one lasts long in my line of work by being
He
careless.
would catch his eye a lot better if you wore nicer clothes, don't you think?
Did he not hear them talk about him?
Didn't realize the housewarming was going to be this fancy. I would have gone with a nice dress if I knew.
Nothing to be worried about then. She's probably even more careful with appearance than her own husband, having grown up with the spotlight focused on her. Even knowing that, the anxiety has been here since the party started. Brushed it off earlier. Who wouldn't feel edgy, right? Got undercover in a party hosted by the very person I'm investigating. That in itself is risky and has plenty of rooms of error. Usually though, the tension passes around the first half hour or so, so I've been trained to remain composed in situations like this. However, with each second I spend here, it only grows heavier and seeks overwhelm. Odd feeling that someone is watching me instead. It has been like... I'm hearing something that's very creepy. Or that's just supposed to be whispers? What is that? I'm hearing something. I don't think it's whispers. Exactly. It's like this since last week, but I should already be used to this. People would be looking at me no matter how small or big of a blip I am on the radar. That's what they do in these things. But when the feelings of eyes burning to my back lingers longer than necessary, I've been looking around every now and then to catch the culprit. No luck. Despite my efforts to push the sensation as far down as I could, tiny pinpricks continue to sting the back of my head. A ghost of a cold touch creeps up my limbs. My gaze switches back to Rebecca and Hannah Wright. Oh! She stands there, dark-haired and dirty, sticking out like a sore thumb. So no one seems to notice. So Ashton saw this. So this is when he sees the ghost? Though she's looking away from me, mere existence here shrieks, disturbs. The tunnel vision blinds while I stand stock-stilled, gape at her. Like my life depends on making sure she stays where she is. I feel trapped in her presence until another guest bumps into me, yanking me out of my stupor. Only then do I realize that I've been holding my breath. Before I can figure out what happened, she's gone. A quick scan of the room yields no sign of her. The party continues as if nothing amiss. I'm not really one to judge, but I'm sure someone like that would have not been allowed in a fancy thing like this. What's the security been doing? Are they really that incompetent for someone so distinct to easily get in without noticing? There should have been an outcry by now, particularly from the host. He's staying almost an arm's length away from the woman, and yet she suddenly continues her talk with Rebecca.
Oh, the professor! And your little Becky!
My parents couldn't make it since they're in Scotland right now. And Mom says hi, by the way.
Is there something in the food, then? That I'm starting to see things? Could have been the wine, though. I'm every bit as sober as when I first stepped off my car. The hors d'oeuvre? But why would anyone want to do that? Why would Luke Wright want to do that? Especially, but I can't see why he'd ever think it'd be a good idea to lace the food served in his party. Someone like Chef Lee, or Chief Lee, on his guest list to boot. He has been linked to narcotics trade, yep. However, that kind of tactic is below him. That much I could tell. Unless there's a mass murder waiting to happen here tonight, which I highly doubt.
What the fuck was that?
Okay. I don't know why that seems silly to me as a response. But there's no time to look deeper into this even if I want to. Now when a telling silence comes up upon the room and draws everyone's attention to the main doors of the ballroom.
About damn time.
Good evening, ladies and gents. Enjoying the party? I hope I'm not too late in welcoming you all to the Wright Mansion.
Why is this a bit of a different atmosphere? Something about this situation now feels creepy. Because I'm pretty sure with everyone else to see, I'm pretty sure there was music playing, but for some reason now it's just actually dead silent. And something about this feels a bit creepy. I don't know why. I'm not too... yes. Forget. It's voiced. I don't need to read it. I've been telling this guy for a while now. Before that, I heard stories from previous officers who tackled this case, none of which are pleasant. Mind, I'm not counting the incident with Professor Clark, yet pleasant is glossing over the gravity of it. While Wright's good at covering whatever shady stuff he's doing, shown to be a really rotten guy. Now, wait a second, I realized. I never looked at the relationship. What's his relationship with everyone? Yeah, that makes sense. We really didn't improve anyone's relationship with them. Hopefully we can change that. So, at least that's the case when he thinks none of his peers are around to judge him. Lost track of how many counts of verbal abuse and harassment cases the guy could be pinned with. Staying in the same room as him doesn't make me want to punch him any less. Actually, the urge is stronger, but protocols, my case, first and foremost. My own opinion of the man shouldn't get ahead of my purpose here. If I want to put him in this place, it should be in court, with all the proper charges filed against him. And I'll be able to do that once I gather enough evidence to pin this bastard down.
Welcome one and all to our humble abode. Tonight, if you have yet to find yourself in your roles, you are all ladies and lords of the court of your king and queen, if you would excuse my presumptuousness. So, enjoy the feast that has been laid out for your senses as we only allowed the best to be served. Enjoy the rest of your night, everyone!
Expressing my annoyance, I prepare to step away from the crowd. As the cheers and claps, now's as good a time as any to move, trying to find that something that Colin woman talked about. In the first place, I have no plans to actually shake hands with the slime ball himself. Big smiles plaster on my face. I pretend to listen to one of the other guests gossiping about him, almost slowly inching out of the ballroom. Fortunately, before I could get any further...
Are you feeling ill, Rochelle?
Oh, okay.
Perhaps you need to sit down and...
Which people only have two ways to resolve their mess. Either they quietly deal with it behind closed doors, or they create an even greater problem of it. It just blows up in everybody's faces, one way or another. Fun.
Whoa, shut it, you munter! I ain't talking to you! I'm talking to this scumbag over here! You bloody bastard, standing there with your smarmy smile!
Not even a few seconds in this is Wright proving itself to be a big public spectacle. When I spend money on television and buy daytime soap operas, you could just go to one of these parties and see the action unfold in real life. You get free food too. Really, if I were an actual guest, I'd just take this as some sordid form of amusement.
What's your tongue? You're on thin ice, Rochelle. Where's your husband? Who even invited you?
But I'm not a guest who's here for a good time. I need to focus on him, even though this whole sorry tale. So I wait, I listen, I observe. Interesting, isn't it though? That's the chief inspector's wife. Oh. Oh, so we just... Okay, so we just skip off all the way to being at Becca's place. Going after starts off quiet. And the whole Salem Well residence seems unusually still. The open hallway, when I step outside, is devoid of tenants. No sounds coming from the other units either. As if something's brewing on the horizon. Peaceful night's sleep still does wonders for the mood, though. Can't even remember the last time I slept without anything urgent interrupting. It's a nice break from all the bad news lately. If it wasn't for the insistent buzzing in my pocket waking me up, I'd sleep in. The ringing has stopped before I could move somewhere private. Sleep has always been effectively kicked out of my system by then. Wait, but sleep has also been effectively kicked out of my system by then. Okay. Yeah, I read it wrong the first time. So I just want to see. Yeah, with Rebecca, it's just default. So, pity I could use a little more rest until I have to face the other storm. Of course, I owe Rebecca an explanation. Doesn't matter if it's the whole truth or another hastily spun tale. Although I haven't really figured out how to get about this yet. Like Zach and Isabel, who don't usually ask questions and are content with what little I could share, Rebecca's rather quick on the trigger. He'll have to be set aside for later, though. Jesus Christ. Chief's name stares back at me, almost as if it's mocking me. Sad. Would have been nice to just... This is so ridiculous, I forgot. It would have been nice to just chill after last night, or maybe half listened to the news. Sure, it's the same thing we've been hearing lately. Still beats standing outside in the chilly Luxembourg morning on the phone with my boss. Sighing, I answer it, if only to get this over with.
Where are you right now?
Now that's a tone I didn't expect from him at this hour. Just thinking how this is go already gives me a headache. Immediately, reach up and pinch the bridge of my nose, stave it
This
off.
is why I won't ever drink myself senseless.
What was that?
Nothing?
Nothing, Chief. A pleasant morning to you too.
Probably calling to rag on me or complain about his wife, which is really none of my business unless it affects my case. Seems like the usual rich man cheats on wife deal. Thought I would have followed up on it if it were somebody else's wife. But figuring it's the chief's, hey, I trust him to come clean if the missus is related to the Wright's shady dealings. This is why I left before they even hauled the woman out last night. I'm not going to go around investigating cheating husbands and wives, when it's probably just that. She appears to have a different idea in mind, though.
There's nothing pleasant in the morning. Anyway, where are you? I told you millions of times before to keep your lines open.
He did, and not only him. Zach, Rebecca, Isabel, all of them have said the same thing numerous times in the past. Yet you don't listen. I was undercover last night. Call is the last thing I want to happen. There are other things that I need to focus on at the time. Besides, we have regular and work-issued phones. Why isn't he using those channels if this is
Just
urgent?
woke up, sir. As awesome as it is to hear your voice this morning, it really is early. If you would give me a few minutes just to wake myself up, that'd be swell.
No need for that. This won't take long.
Is
Okay.
something wrong? Am I needed at the precinct ASAP?
Oh no, everything's good over there. Just look, kid. Pray. Don't take this personally, alright?
He's gonna assault us?
Luxbourne firm case. Starting today.
Oh, but we're gonna keep working on it secretly. Well, I did not expect to hear that either. Must be some kind of cosmic joke. I allow some awkward seconds pass. Chief must be pulling another one of his awful pranks. Of his bad mood or severe hangover, maybe. Everyone knows that when given the chance, he exercises no control with his drinking. If it wasn't for his wife causing a stir, he'd probably be trashed an hour in at the party. Likely drank more after they threw her out of the ballroom. Besides, his sense of humor has never been good. It's just infuriating most of the time. But when he doesn't follow it up, if I sound a tiny bit frustrated speaking to my own superior, I'm not the one to blame.
No. What? Are you kidding, Chief? Is this one of your practical jokes again? The temps won't say anything about it, but I...
It's not that. They're orders. From the higher-ups.
The higher-ups? Yeah, that's my favorite word. Since when did the higher-ups ever cared about what the criminal investigation department did? As far as I can tell, they don't give a hoot if Sid is filled with cold cases as long as we keep the spending low. When I need to view those old case files, though, they're locked away in the archives. You're gonna have to check with the higher-ups. I need access to these reports, see if the higher-ups would allow it. Every step, every move in this case isn't one that hasn't been gated by some authority. If it's not the chief, it's the commissioner, or so they all tell me. Makes one wonder why they even bother signing it to anyone. Not a single one of them has done anything to help move the case. And they wonder why it's taken this long for even a hint of progress to show.
You can't just drop this on me. You can't just take me off like that.
Yes, I can. And I'm sorry, Ashton. You're a good detective. One of the best I've seen in years, but...
3 years, Chief. 3 years.
3 years since that anonymous tech leak blew up. Since Luke Wright's name was openly linked to several nasty dealings with Luxembourg's corporate world, some of them involving deaths. 3 years, and I was the only one who made it this far. Made much progress that officers with more experience weren't able to do when they handled this case. Just within a year, and with barely any help from the damn brass at that. Of course, I'll be pissed.
You know what would have happened if I didn't work my ass off on this thing? If I didn't dedicate a whole year of my time on it, it would have gone cold, like every fucking case Luke Wright has been linked to. I saved this from getting thrown into the archives, sir. I'm getting close. If you could just...
I'm fully aware of what you've done, Frey, but the Commissioner hasn't been happy with your progress. Still too slow by their standards.
Yeah, he is the only one that's made fucking progress.
Too slow? Well, what about those reports I filed? I've documented every freaking thing for them. I've given you every important lead I can gather. Isn't that enough?
They need results, not a bunch of research papers. Not one baseless assumption after another. Concrete proof, Frey. I'm really sorry. They've already made a decision. They're going to pass this on to someone who's been in the Force longer. Someone who has more experience.
Someone who has more experience?
I meant nothing by it, but you're still too young to work on a case this big.
Chief, I've already done more than what those old farts ever did behind their desks. All of it, within just a year of being assigned to this.
Watch your language, Frey. Those are your superiors,
I'm not some damn rookie fresh out of training. I'm as qualified as they are.
Futile, I know it is. They'd never say it within my earshot, but from the very minute I stepped in their precinct, a lot of them had underestimated me, from their stares alone to the assignments I get. To them, I'm just a kid. Too young, too green, too inexperienced. And once they pulled that card on me, every argument I have gets thrown out the window. No matter how logical it is, how much I've accomplished, what the records say, or the amount of work I've put in every investigation they've thrown my
We're all
way.
aware of your skills, kid. You wouldn't have that badge and rank if you weren't good enough. However, this case is just not for you. Too high profile, too risky to put a good officer like you in harm's way.
Can he even hear himself? That reasoning is odd in itself. No one joins this line of work without knowing the dangers of
You might
it.
get a second chance. You said it yourself. I'm a good detective. It'll just be a matter of time before we can close this.
It doesn't matter what I think, Frey. You're off the case, and that's final. I expect all related files and documents on my desk by Monday morning. And don't even try to go touch anything. I know how hard-headed and determined you are.
Chief, please. A few more weeks. I'll have the proper evidence left on your desk by then. I swear it won't take longer than that.
Fred, it's too late, boy. I've already informed the other officers. You aren't to be allowed access until you've been given a new assignment. Help just keep out of the precinct, Fred. Take the weekend off.
Seriously, Chief, is this about last night? If this is about me being at that party, I have a good reason for...
You were at the party.
Nope! Weird word? It makes me pause. As we retone the sudden careful note in his voice, slowly a frown forms on my face, eyebrows knitting together in confusion. Much as I hate to say this about my own boss, there is also suspicion in it. Hard not to think of that... Hard not to think of it that way, seeing how he acted around Hannah Wright last night. Is he worried? Why should he be? Everyone who's anyone was invited. I didn't doubt for a second why he received an invite. Even if his presence was questionable. Something wrong I have unintentionally walked into. All I have to say, all I have is the sneaking suspicion, but when one looks at this from a different angle, put everything together, why the hell I've been taking off this case might be for the same reason he was there in the first place.
Yes,
Fuck.
Chief, I was. For a good reason. What were you doing there? I know we don't have a strict rule against attending functions, but that was...
Those, I mean, I added there, but Compson almost sounds like he's choking on his own excuses, lies. I don't want to accuse him of anything yet. He's someone I've respected since I joined LPD, even with this bizarre sense of humor and tendency to procrastinate. Obviously competent enough to get the job done. He wouldn't be Chief Inspector of Luxembourg Police if he wasn't. He wouldn't last years in service without some track record backing him. Unless that too is a fluke, and what's backing him is not something, but someone. Oh shit. Fucking hell.
Chief
Fucking
Harvey,
shit.
about last night with the...
Jesus Christ.
Why does it matter, Frey? This isn't about that.
Why does it matter? Why does it matter? I'll recite the whole damn oath, taking upon being sworn in service if I can, but at this point, it seems too late to remind him of that. He's probably already moved from serving and protecting people to serving and protecting his own interests. Damn it. Suspected the upper brass of this, even the lower ranks subordinates in the force, for my own boss? Shit, no wonder that leak didn't lead anywhere. Someone closer might have been pulling the strings. I had been set to fail long before the fucking case has been assigned to me. But I don't want to just give this up. I don't want to believe I've wasted an entire year for this. I don't want this to be the kind of news to tell Professor Clark all those promises I've given the man.
I just want to know, sir, at the party, with Luke and Hannah Wright, you were...
Monday, Detective Inspector. First thing in the morning. Every copy of the files you have, I want to see all on my table, understood?
This isn't...
Frey, am I understood?
What else can I do other than smile and nod? My own superior expecting an answer, using that tone, brushing my question off, as easy as discarding a dead body.
Yes, sir.
Gets the line as soon as the words are out. Off the case, Frey, just like that. Funny why this still caught me off guard. Discovered years ago how different the actual thing is. Far from reality, everything I believed in as a dreamy-eyed kid. Also, timeline? We can't possibly have much being that we only got 3-4 days compared to everyone else who's like all the way back here. Because everyone starts somewhere in like one of these 3 days, I think. Maybe this, but for the most part, all these other days. So for him to start so far late, it's odd. There are no high-speed pursuits every day, no thrilling gunfights or exciting cases every step of the way. Only paperwork, lots of tape, and dealing with politics and bureaucracy. Set out to change things, hoping it'll make things better for the people I care about. It ended up changing me instead. Serves me right for being too idealistic, I guess. It's probably the universe telling me that it's better to remain skeptic I really am. Now here I am, standing useless. Can't even do anything but grit my teeth and kick the wall. The bastard demon acknowledged my response.
What did the poor wall ever do to you?
Figured Rebecca would be the one to find me in this embarrassing state. Honestly, I don't like it when she sees me like this. It seems to happen a lot, regardless of what I want.
Rebecca, now's not a good time.
The concern I expect from her when I turn isn't there, however. Instead, she just looks, well... Storm I left the room last night isn't right there on her face, ready to be unleashed. Wait. Storm I left the room last night? It's right there on her face, ready to be unleashed. There we go.
When is it ever a good time for you? You're always so busy with everything now. Now I find you here, sneaking out without even bothering with a proper goodbye. Not even a word. Really, I'm starting to think you're just keeping me around from my couch and my cooking.
Becca, it's not what you're thinking. I wasn't planning on sneaking out. I was going to say goodbye. I just had to take this call. Although, I'm not gonna lie, couch is great. 10 out of 10. Would sleep again.
Stop it with the jokes, Ashton. I'm not in the mood.
Her bitterness is not lost on me, but at this point, our friendship in our lives, does she still expect me to answer that? What am I supposed to tell her now?
Are you still mad about last night?
She merely raises an eyebrow at me, which, to be honest, all the response I need. Seeing her like this makes me believe those things Z-Man says, the part where Rebecca scares him sometimes. I've certainly seen this more than once already, but the familiarity of it doesn't really take away the downhill turns conversation's starting to take. Only awkward cough serves as a way to stall.
Of course you're still mad. But whatever happened last night, I really am sorry. I'll apologize as many times as you want. If you want, I'd even kneel or something.
Ashton, an apology is nice and all, but that's not what I wanted to hear from you today.
Alright, fine, okay. Where do you want to start?
Oh, I don't know. I've honestly lost track of it by your third trip to the buffet table.
I wasn't... The drive up there took a bit. Can you blame me if I wanted to grab some appetizers?
Oh, come on, Ash! For the whole evening? For the whole party? Please don't tell me that's all you did, because I've never known you as someone who pigs out. You even took great lengths to avoid me. Should I also mention how you ignored Zach? Sometimes I get the feeling you don't want to be seen with us in public. Some friendship, huh?
You know it's not like that. It's never going to be like that, Becca.
I'll ask this again. Just what were you up to during the party? What were you doing that you couldn't even take 2 seconds to make time for your friends?
Do we get a say in this? I can't even look her in the eye. All that I wanted to avoid them, I did to keep Zach safe, to keep Rebecca safe. Just in case client or family friend was still a party hosted by a person of interest. By a man accused years ago of murdering a person's wife to get what he wanted. But then Chief showed up, and a Wright happened, and Luke Wright just can't be bothered to die peacefully somewhere. All of a sudden, none of my original reasons mattered. If I was found out right there then, hell, if Zach and Rebecca connection, Mia was found out, who knows what might have happened. Rebecca doesn't understand that. Doesn't understand what I can and can't say to keep them from harm. It's all in her eye, even the tight line of her lips, her frowned brows. Hurt. This day is just off to a wonderful start. First my case, now Becca. Stretch the truth? I want to say, isn't that live? I could be wrong. It's actually telling. I don't know. But I think this is a good enough time as any, though, to end the video. So, if you guys enjoyed it so far, and got to this point, maybe hit the like button. If you enjoyed it anyways. And if you want to see more of what I make, or if you want to see what decision I'm going to pick here, because I don't know what to pick. Maybe go subscribe button to be notified of anything I do. And with that, if you got anything to say in the comments below. I'll see you guys in the next video. Comrades?